had to really resist the urge not to walk up here and do the pageant wave or the politician wave. But it's so good to be with you. Hello, friends of Strive. Hi. Okay, that was a quick vibe check. I just wanted to see how the vibes were in the room. But hello, friends of Strive. I like that, I like that. Welcome to the 2025 Gala, Destination Possible. I'm Morgan Norwood, a journalist, a news correspondent for ABC TV, and I'm so honored to be your host this evening. I just have a couple of house rules. Because I'm on TV, you know our egos are kind of up here. So rule number one, you have to laugh at all of my jokes. Okay, all right, so half of the room already failed, okay. And if you forget rule number one, just laugh at the joke again. But I have to say that you all look really incredible. I talk with you every single morning and evening on GMA and World News Tonight, but it's even better when I get to see so many of your smiling faces, so many of our viewers in person. As you know, in my role, I cover all kinds of stories, from breaking news to exclusive investigations. I meet with people in their worst moments, oftentimes, human stories of despair, but it's also the hope and the journeys in between that really make me love what I do day in and day out. So that's why I'm so grateful to be with you guys tonight and to tell you the inspiring and audacious story of Strive. Founded in East Harlem in 1984, Strive started as a grassroots organization that sought to address the chronic unemployment and poverty crisis plaguing the local community. Strive's groundbreaking approach of combining career mindset training with long-term wraparound supports has become a proven, nationally recognized model for helping people overcome barriers to mobility and build life-changing careers. Through sites here in New York, Atlanta, Birmingham, and New Orleans, and most recently launched in Brooklyn and New Jersey. Yeah, they're doing great work over in New Jersey. Strive offers its signature evidence-based programs for adults of all ages, including individuals who have been impacted by the justice system. As a national leader in creating employment opportunities, Strive is committed to continued growth so that its dedicated and expert team can help more individuals and communities from coast to coast. To date, Strive has helped nearly 90,000 individuals nationwide find their pathway to possible. Absolutely. That's 90,000 stories. That's 90,000 lives, 90,000 possibilities. And they are just getting started. With a 25% increase in enrollments in just the past year, the need for Strive's further expansion across communities remains critical. As part of Strive's ambitious growth plan, they are committed to the awesome goal of launching a new site annually, growing to serve up to 10,000 students and alumni every single year by 2033. Despite its ambitious growth, Strive retains its home-like feeling in the communities it serves, with proven programs designed to meet the individual needs of both students and employers across the country. I'm talking to so many of you out at the cocktail hour, and it really did feel like family, so you can feel that community-based approach. But Strive partners with local employers and tailors its programs to prepare students for growing workforce needs, creating a pipeline of ready-to-work talent to fuel the economic growth of local economies. Like Ochsner Health in New Orleans, which has already hired 26 Strive graduates since the site launched just last year. I'm telling you, the statistics just keep getting better and better and better. Strive has long known that it's about so much more than a job. This is about bringing life-changing careers that provide economic mobility and generational wealth, stronger families, stronger communities. Strive wraps around every student who walks through its doors and keeps them in the Strive family throughout their career journey. That's Strive's special sauce. Success that is measured in Strive's impact, student by student, family by family, community by community. There is simply no other organization like Strive. Tonight, I'm really excited that you'll be able to hear from incredible Strive leaders and proud alumni tell their stories of inspiration and their dedication to Strive. You'll also hear from our amazing honorees, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah. I promise I won't plague you with all of my physics questions, though I do have a lot. And Tony Leatherberry, who will both share their stories that reflect the power of the positive in each and every one of us. But before we welcome our first speaker this evening, we are delighted to share a brief message from our honorary co-chair, the Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock of Georgia. As many of you know, Strive Atlanta was actually the first site launched outside of New York back in 2020 at the start of the pandemic. So led by founding executive director Jamal Vales, Strive Atlanta has grown to have a lasting impact in the local community, graduating nearly 600 students since launch. Yeah. In fact, in 2024, 68% of Strive Atlanta students were unemployed when they enrolled, and with 48% reliant on public assistance. But that same year, the average starting wage for graduates in Atlanta was above $18 per hour, more than double the federal minimum wage. Friends, Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock.
Hello, Strive friends and family. I'm United States Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock, and I'm thrilled to serve as honorary chair of Strive's 2025 Gala. For over 4 decades, Strive has worked with communities to break down economic barriers and help people of all ages achieve upward mobility and financial freedom. And despite starting out as just a small idea in East Harlem some 40 years ago, Strive has now blossomed into a thriving organization supporting Americans from coast to coast, including a growing workforce development program in Atlanta. So thank you for your dedication to change and bettering the lives of so many. Enjoy the gala, keep the faith, and keep looking up.
Keep the faith and keep looking up. Our thanks to Senator Reverend Warnock for that affirming message. And thank you again for all of you coming out tonight to support Strive. We're thrilled to have you join us on the journey of progress and in celebrating the pathway to possible. And so without further ado, it's time to buckle up for Destination Possible. And I can think of no better way to get us started than with the story of Nicole King. 29 years ago, Nicole was a young person searching for direction when she found Strive. She didn't know her purpose yet, but she knew that she was destined for more. The lessons and skills she gained from her time at Strive became the foundation of a truly remarkable career. Today, Nicole is Executive Director of Community Banking at JP Chase, where she made history as the bank's first ever community manager. And listen, she's known around town. She's known as Harlem's banker, but her story resonates across the Strive community as a shining example of what's possible when you're driven to succeed. Seriously, it is so good. Her story is so good. It could be a documentary, and trust me, I have pitched a couple of those in my career, but she's brilliant and driven and truly a light. Please welcome Strive 1996 graduate, Nicole King. Who looks amazing, by the way.
Hello, Strive. I need y'all to get a little louder for me. Hello, Strive. This is such a full circle moment for me. My name is Nicole King, and as Morgan said, I have the privilege of being the Executive Director for Community Banking at JP Chase. Through this role, I have the good fortune of working with Strive over 6 years in Harlem. But I stand before you today, not only as a partner who has seen the impact of Strive firsthand in Harlem, but a proud Strive graduate who felt this impact directly. The truth is, Strive is just not a chapter in my life with a beginning and an end decades ago. It's a part of my journey and my foundation of professional development, which continues to support my success today. When I was 20 years old, an undisclosed number of years ago, I knew I wanted more. I knew I wanted to build a successful career. I wanted to build my skills. But like so many young people, I had no idea until I found Strive. In just 3 weeks, Strive taught me the basics of professional development. I learned how to speak. I built my confidence. I began to hold myself accountable to my own goals and dreams. And most importantly, I came to understand the power of relationships and community. With these skills and a letter of recommendation, I entered the workforce stronger and more prepared than I ever thought possible. Within a decade, I started my own business and found my way into the world of banking. In 2019, when Chase opened its first ever in the nation community branch in Harlem, I leveraged the skills I developed at Strive to seize that opportunity. And I became the firm's first ever community manager. I went through 17 interviews, beat out 32 candidates, and was named the first. In this role, I forged a new path that elevated our efforts from community banking to community building. And I never forget the lessons I learned at Strive. It is truly a full circle moment. Serving as community manager, it gave me a platform to champion programs like Strive. And I'm proud that on this day, we co-host Strive events at the Harlem Community Center branch in Brooklyn, working together to help our neighbors, reach their fullest potential. So I want my community managers here to stand up so we can give them a round of applause, please. That's my team, y'all. In the 6 years since I started as the firm's first ever community manager, a lot has changed. While I'm still known as Harlem's banker, today I lead dozens of community managers across New York City and Long Island, and we're making this impact one community at a time. Nationwide, the work that we started in Harlem is now a national program and a division for the bank. We have 150 community managers across the country, and pretty soon we'll have a community manager in all 48 lower states of the United States. And as Strive has expanded into new cities like New Orleans, Atlanta, and soon you guys are in New Jersey, I am proud that we have expanded our partnership into all of those places as well. But amongst all of this change, what has remained the constant are the lessons that Strive taught me and the confidence that this program instilled in me, and the focus of supporting our neighbors, and most importantly, lifting as you climb. Thanks in large part to the Strive Foundation that helped me build, I've achieved almost unimaginable success. Next June, I'm excited to share the story of my journey in my first book, Becoming Harlem's Banker. Another milestone. Another milestone that would have not been possible without the spark that Strive gave me. Today, I know that I always had it in me to reach these heights, but I owe a debt of gratitude to Strive, which showed me this bright future was possible and believed in me before I even fully believed in myself. To me, Strive is more than just a program. It's a pathway to possible. And I'm living proof of what can happen when you invest in yourself and your community. Thank you for allowing me to share my story, and thank you for continuing to support Strive as we continue to change lives.
All right. Welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed the delicious meal. And as we continue on with our program, it is my great honor to now introduce you to a very special member of the Stride family. Judy McElnay truly represents the beating heart of Strive. If Strive had a Mount Rushmore, her face would be right up there, smiling and determined, and probably recruiting us all to volunteer. As a 21-year member of the Strive Board of Directors, now serving as the vice chair, Judy became a Strive supporter instantly when she was introduced to the organization by her stepson, who worked for Strive at the time and was planning the gala. Judy rolled up her sleeves and saw firsthand the power and the purpose of Strive. Judy's passion for Strive is truly unwavering. And if you've ever been on the receiving end of her request to support, you know it's impossible to say no to her. Friends, Judy McElnay.
Okay, I can sit down now. That was unbelievable. Thank you, Morgan. And thanks to all of you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. You're going to help us create some of those pathways to possible that is here to help people who are trying to build a brighter future for themselves and their families. And we're doing it, and we're doing it together. So thank you. But now, I have the distinct pleasure to introduce you to our first honoree. She's an extraordinary woman whose achievements are matched only by her passion, her determination, and her heart. Of course, I'm talking about Dr. Antoinette Toni Leatherberry. Throughout her life, Toni has made it her personal priority to create opportunities for women and people of color, especially people who have been overlooked or underestimated. Because Toni just doesn't believe in equality. Toni fights for it. And those of you who know Toni know that when she commits something, she commits 100%. That's why Toni's accomplishments are so impressive. Well, they're not only impressive, which, by the way, they are impressive, but they're a reflection of her drive and her integrity. In her 29-year career at Deloitte, Toni used her own success to lift and advance the careers of others. She served as president of the Deloitte Foundation, where she championed education to further develop the firm's future leaders. She also helped to launch the Board Leadership Forum and the Next Gen CEO Academy. These were initiatives that placed dozens of Black executives into boardrooms and C-suites across the country. And while building this big career, this successful career, and by the way, in a man's world, just saying, she was also the devoted mother, single mother, to 2 daughters after the loss of her husband. That's the kind of strength that Toni brings to everything she does. Her leadership has earned her national recognition, including being named one of the most powerful women in business by Black Enterprise magazine. She's a sought-after speaker, and she serves on 6 boards, both corporate and nonprofit, and especially with Strive. Thank you, Toni. And on top of all that, as a believer in the power of education to elevate, Toni recently earned her doctorate in education with a thesis on new models for academic success. But what truly sets Toni apart is her passionate commitment to the causes she believes in, which is why we are so deeply grateful that she has chosen Strive and the people we help and our mission as one of her passions. And speaking of passion, Toni has recently added a couple of joyful chapters in her new life. Number 1, she's a recent grandmother, and also she was recently married to Kenneth Lucas, who's here tonight. So welcome to the Strive family, Kenneth. And now, please join me in welcoming to the stage a brilliant mind, a fierce advocate, a valued member of the Strive board, and tonight's leadership honoree, Toni Leatherberry.
Good evening. Come on, give me some love. Good evening. This is such a magical night. I can't even tell you, as I look out and I see all of the brilliance in this room, what it means to me. When Phil and the Strive team reached out and talked about the gala, I thought they were going to ask me for my ideas of who could be a phenomenal honoree. I never imagined it would be me. And so this honor is one of the most special honors that I've had in my long career, in my long life. And as Nicole said, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to put a date on that, right? To be recognized by an organization that truly has impact and changes the trajectory of people's lives, that has been my long life passion. And so when I shared the news with my new husband, I exclaimed, "Can you believe little old me?" And he said, "Why not you?" And so as we reflected, and I went on to talk about Strive and what it meant to me, I remembered my parents and the values they instilled in me: service, community, and investing in others early and often. If they're observing tonight, I hope they would be proud, as I constantly try to uphold those principles in my daily conduct. But as the saying goes, It takes a village. And so for over 40 years, Strive is that village, and it fosters change and meaningful impact. I want to thank Phil and the Strive board and the leadership team for the vision and dedication, and especially to Judy, my fellow Strive board member, for it was her tireless energy, and you could never say no to her, and her unwavering commitment that welcomed me into the Strive family. And she continues to inspire me every day. I also want to recognize my village, which includes Janice Ellig. When I called her panicked about this gala, she, without hesitation, agreed to be a co-chair. So thank you, Janice. And to the rest of my village, American Family Insurance, Ariel Investments, my Boston University Board of Trustee colleagues that are here, the board curators, Deloitte, list goes on. This is like the Academy Awards, you might forget somebody. Direct Digital Holdings, ELC, and Zoetis, thank you for your steadfast support of Strive's mission. Tonight, I am especially proud to be recognized alongside Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. His cosmic perspective puts Strive's mission into context. As I look out at all of you, I'm reminded of a profound quote by Dr. Tyson. And so I want to share it with you. I look up at the night sky, and I know that, yes, we are part of the universe. We are in this universe, but perhaps more important than both of those facts are that the universe is in us. When I reflect on that fact, I look up. Many people feel small because the universe is so big, but I feel big because the universe is in me. Just as stars are born from cosmic dust, the universe is within us. The question now becomes, what do we wish to do with all of that cosmic energy? How do we remain connected to our universe, and how do we truly shine? Strive shows us that answer. We unleash it. As I mentioned earlier about my parents' values that they instilled in me, I boil it down to a simple truth comprised of my 4 C's: community, competency, character, and courage. These translate into leadership, impact, and resilience. And for me, community is all about finding where you fit best and where you can make the greatest impact. Competency means developing the skills to realize the art of the possible. By painting a vision of the future, Strive offers personalized coaching, recognized credentials, and lifelong support, as we heard from Nicole, right? Character is aligning your career choices with your values. Strive instills accountability, responsibility, and work ethic, and they are the foundation for long-term success and legacy. And then lastly, courage is all about rising to the occasion. For every Strive student, simply walking through that door is the first and most important step. Nothing illustrates Strive's life-changing impact better than the journeys of 3 graduates that are new Strive alum that I spent some time with. And they dared to shine by embracing Strive's transformative model. So I just want to introduce you to Giovanna. She's a native New Yorker. Yeah. She was wise in her early years in investing in herself, and she came to Strive seeking clarity, confidence, and a path to leadership. She found the warmth of a community and the courage to ask where she belonged professionally. Strive gave her that support and that confidence to finish her undergraduate degree, and she went on to get her master's. She refined her soft skills, public speaking, and technology competencies, sharing her character into a proactive mentor. Her mantra now is she's planting the seeds for the next group of stars. And somewhere out there is Erica. Originally from Mexico, she overcame monumental barriers, language, lack of support, and financial struggles. For her, Strive was an essential lifeline. Her courage was simply showing up in a new country, and in her words, I just didn't feel comfortable or confident enough to even talk. Strive provided tangible support, food, transportation, and a welcoming presence. Strive helped her build her confidence to act. She needed specific safety certifications to enter into construction, and Strive helped her do that. Her story is defined by resilience, commitment, and loyalty. And then lastly, Marcus. Where are you, Marcus? Somewhere out there. Marcus from Charleston, South Carolina, lost both of his parents and spent time in foster care. But with the love of his family, his upbringing was grounded in discipline, faith, and education, shaping his character and his values. After a successful career with the likes of Booz, Marsh McLennan, and others, he ended up getting lost, and it culminated in incarceration. With courage, he did a lot of soul searching, and he rebuilt his life seeking stability and balance. He found Strive's Fresh Start program, a supportive community, and has recently become a member of the Strive team, where he uses his competencies to help others. He now embodies Strive's leadership values by guiding others by presenting tangible actions while providing compassion and practical support. And he said something to me. He said, there was a noise in my head, and Strive was like a clear signal, a beacon in a world of noise. 3 unique journeys, one about self-actualization, another about rebuilding a life, and the third about overcoming the realities of being a new member of this country. These stories show that the true components of leadership and achievement come back to my 4 C's: community, competency, character, and courage, and they are universal. Despite different starting points, these stars found, hold on a minute, got a lot of paper here, programs that were life-changing, and they share a profound desire to pay it forward. That desire to give back is the ultimate return on our collective investment. The beauty of Strive lies in meeting everyone where they are, providing flexible, personalized solutions for all the future stars who walk through that door. It's not just about getting a job. It's about achieving security, changing lives, building stable homes, and creating legacies for families. So if we all can imagine the art of the possible, let us remember that every challenge is an opportunity to let our stars shine. The future is not written. The journey ahead of us is ours to define. It is shaped by our courage, community, character, and competencies, my 4 C's. Strive instills in us a vision and an unwavering belief that we can achieve anything. And for future stars, let's move forward together with hope in our hearts and determination in our actions, knowing that the best is yet to come, and it will be truly extraordinary. Once again, thank you, Strive, for this incredible and cherished honor. Let's continue to unleash our cosmic energy, support one another, and help every star shine.
Transformation begins with the individual. It begins with the individuals come through the Strive door, they take that leap, and they have faith in our organization that there is a pathway to the possible.
Strive is like no other program. All the individuals who we choose or select to come through the program, they have decided to change their mindset. That's what it's all about.
For me, Strive is more than an organization, it's a family. To have people believe in me makes me believe in me. I didn't used to be as confident. Once I came here, it was like, okay, my name is Atera, this is what I've been through, and this is where I am now.
Individuals leave out of here with support, with access to employers, to spaces that they may not have been able to receive without our collaborative work in the community.
I remember my first day. It felt almost like I'm not alone. Everybody has similar barrier for them to find a job.
I've seen Strive time and time again move people into meaningful jobs that lead to economic mobility in ways that change their own lives and change the lives of their families.
We're providing opportunities for individuals who didn't have access. We're providing skills upgrade training. They're able to have a career.
They just boosted my confidence and they made me want to work.
It opened the door for me to see myself not just one way. Once I went through Strive, it was like I could do bigger and better and share my story to help people even more.
Going to Strive, it gives you that job readiness and it gives you the opportunity to go forward.
I think Strive does a fantastic job of not only giving students certification, but they give students interviews and that hands-on training. So I think they do a really good job of creating a well-rounded individual.
Individuals returning home from incarceration face multiple barriers to employment, whether it's housing, whether it's connection to their family that they were once disconnected from. Strive is here to support them through that journey.
That program was able to see the person and not just the check mark on the application and convey to an employer, hey, you need to take a chance on this person.
Strive meets people where they are. Think about what that means. Strive is there for all those transitions. It's not just around career, it's also around life.
If it wasn't for Strive, I don't really think I'd be working this capacity that I am right now.
I'm proud of coming this far and staying consistent and doing the things that I want to do.
Without Strive, I would have never made it into the interview chair.
The future of Strive is endless possibilities. There's so much opportunity, but we know what it takes, and that's connecting those in need to the resources. That's Strive's future, is continuing that work.
There are two things I took away from that video: family and the future. Strive is really building the future. And I'm so excited to announce our next speaker, Taekwon Morris. He came to Strive just last year, seeking employment opportunities and a fair chance at a new beginning. Referred by friends who found their own success through Strive, Taekwon Morris enrolled in Strive New York's Fresh Start program for returning citizens. Taekwon tells us he wasn't really sure of what to expect when he first walked through Strive's doors, and what he gained was more than he ever imagined was possible. I'll just say this: Taekwon's story is what happens when courage meets opportunity. And from what we all just saw on that video, those are two things that Strive knows how to multiply. Friends, let's welcome Mr. Taekwon Morris.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Let's go. First, I want to thank Strive for inviting me here tonight and for giving me the opportunity to share my story. Standing here today feels surreal because I know how far I've come. When I came home from prison last year, I had a plan. I knew I wanted to rebuild my life, do better for myself and for my family, and proved that my past wouldn't define my future. But having a plan and knowing how to put that plan into action is two different things. Strive equipped me with the tools and training I needed to make that plan real. I went through the Fresh Start program, which focuses on helping formerly incarcerated individuals transition back into the workforce. The staff and instructors at Strive didn't just teach me job skills. They helped me rebuild my mindset, my confidence, and my drive. They constantly reminded me that I still had value and purpose. Strive helped me build marketable skills that led me to a job at New York Presbyterian Hospital, where I work in environmental services. That job provides me with stability, structure, benefits, and a sense of pride in what I do. Every day I walk into the hospital knowing that I'm a part of something bigger, and that's a feeling I haven't felt in a very long time. Thank you. Since graduating and securing employment, I've been able to fulfill so many goals that once felt out of reach. I went on to publish my first book, If I Can, So Can You, sharing my story in hopes of inspiring others who might feel stuck and hopeless. I also launched my own cleaning business, Around the Clock Cleaners. All right. And most recently, I purchased my first ATM machine. Right. These entrepreneur endeavors provide me with multiple streams of income, but more importantly, they give me the platform to employ and help others who are trying to get on their feet, just as I once was. Each of these accomplishments started with the support that Strive poured into me. I've been incarcerated twice, serving a total of 14 years in prison. And I honestly believe that if I found Strive the first time I came home, I would have never gone back. Strive gave me the structure and the community I needed to finally break that cycle. But this isn't just my story. I've seen Strive change the lives of several of my friends who also went through the program. They came home with the same hunger for a second chance, and Strive gave them the opportunity to turn that hunger into success. Programs like Strive are vital for communities like mine, because when you invest in people who are ready for a new start, you're not just changing one life, you're creating a ripple effect of impact throughout communities and generations for those who have been held back for decades. We need a Strive in every city in America. Today, millions of people woke up hungry for opportunity and a fair chance at a brighter future. With your support tonight, together we can make that happen for many. Strive just launched its 5th site in New Jersey, and their first cohorts will graduate in January. With your continued support, this time next year, Strive will announce its next site. Sorry about that. As someone whose life has been changed by this program, this expansion makes me proud and hopeful for what's to come for more communities across the country as Strive continues to grow. Strive didn't just help me find employment, they helped me discover my potential. They believed in me when others might have written me off, and that belief helped me step into the man I was always meant to be. So tonight, as we come together to celebrate and support this amazing and incredible organization, remember that your contributions go far beyond funding a program. You're investing in people like me, who just needed the opportunity to turn their vision into reality. Strive believe in me, and because of that, I'm standing here today as living proof that transformation is possible. Thank you.
I'm going to say that was the weakest ovation I've ever received. I'm very disappointed in that, I have to say. I'm worth more than that, you know? I'm just, there you go. All right. It's a little more like it. First of all, before we do anything, please give another round of applause to Taekwon, who did an incredible job of conveying the importance of why we're here tonight. Taekwon, that was amazing. For those of you who don't know, my name is Chuck Nice. I'm a stand-up comedian. When they say longtime friend of Strive, I believe it's going on somewhere around 11 or 12 years that I have been here. And what I do specifically is I ask you for money. And I have no problem doing that because Strive is an incredible organization that does phenomenal work. And I am proud to stand here and beg you for money. Proud to do that. And people say to me, man, you come back every single year, man. Why do you keep coming back? And I'm like, if I do not, Judy McElnay will release the pictures of me. Apparently there's some Chuck Nice files out there too. I don't care, that was funny. Loosen up, okay? Just loosen up, all right? Let me just say, my love for Strive comes out of a place that is twofold. Number one, our superpower as Homo sapiens and our success as a species is predicated upon one thing and one thing only: our ability to come together and form groups and help one another. Everything that you see around when you look at the accomplishments of mankind, personkind, I don't know anymore, but it doesn't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Us. When you look at the accomplishments of us, it is because people got together, collaborated, and helped one another. And the second reason that I love Strive is that Strive is not just about the individual accomplishments that we see in the people that graduate the program. It is about community and family. And family and community are kind of the same thing. A family is a nucleated community, and a nation is a collective of communities. And community is people coming together to help one another. And that is what we are doing here tonight. And if I might be corny for a second, I would love for you, if you want, to close your eyes. I know I'm asking you for money, so that might be a leap of trust. You know, but first of all, let me just say this. When I came in, the first person I saw was Neil, and Neil looked at me and he was like, man, you look like a gangster in that suit. That black shirt and the black, and then I went to the bathroom and I went, damn it, he's right. I didn't think I did, but I saw myself in the mirror. But then again, maybe it's a fitting metaphor for the fact that I'm asking you for money, that I look like a gangster. Just like, it would be a very unfortunate mishap for something to befall you if you were not to give this evening. So, but if I might have you for a second, just close your eyes, if you would, and I'm serious when I say this. Just think, in your life, just one person, anytime in your life, just one person who helped you. Who helped you. That person did something for you that changed the trajectory of your life. That person did something for you that allowed you to move in a different direction. I know that's redundant, but still. Think of that person, one person, just one person who helped you. And now open your eyes. And with that thought, that is the spirit in which I want you to go into your pocket and give me some money. And I'm serious. And although I make everything a joke, the reason why I say that is because we live in a time right now where unfortunately, and I think it is a tragedy, not a travesty, a tragedy, that help has become a dirty word. That helping someone is seen as someone being lesser. Well, that is not the case. And that's why I asked you to close your eyes, because we all got to where we are right now because someone helped us. And that's all there is to it, man. That's what this is about. That's what this whole thing is about. And I'm not talking about Strive. I'm talking about this whole thing is about being here for someone else. That's what it's about. And with that, what I want you to do is two things. One, get your phone out, something I've never said while I was on stage ever. Please go ahead and get your phone out. And the reason I ask you to do that is because on your tables there are two things. One is a paddle with your name on it. I want you to put that paddle in your hand. The second is a QR code that's on the inside of your program. And what we're going to do is a paddle raise, but we're also going to allow you to use the QR code to donate. All you have to do is open up. If you have an iPhone, just point your camera at the QR code and it will automatically take you to the link. If you have an Android, then you have to go to the QR button that's in your Android quick menu because, you know, you're a terrible person for having an Android. And I only say that because I have an Android, okay? So, that's how we're going to do it. So get your paddles ready. And for the paddles, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, you know, a lot of people have auctions. What we do is auction off money. That's what we auction. So you bid on nothing. And it's amazing. And I'm going to start the first bid. I mean, I'm supposed to start at $10,000, but I'm going to start at 15 because guess what? Maybe there's somebody here who has $15,000 that they would like to go ahead and say, guess what? I am ready to go ahead and make that leap for even more than anyone ever expected and be the hero of the night. Is that person here? Is that $15,000 person here? Are you here? You're here. You are here. I know you're here. Okay, well, guess what? Now $10,000 is so much easier. So, I am very serious about this. There's got to be at least one 10,000. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 10,000. I have 234. I have 160. And wait, where's the other one? Hey, by the way, don't fan yourself. I know it might be a little warm, but don't do that. So, and that's my wife. Girl, you better put that pedal down. Well, thank you so much. Give it up for our $10,000 donators right there. That was fine. That was fantastic. Let me tell you, $10,000 puts a person through the Strive program from start to finish. What you guys just did was change 2 lives without question. Start to finish, you sponsored 2 students, 1 each, to go all the way through the program. So God bless you and thank you. Okay, let's move on to $5,000, okay? $5,000, look at that, I got 132 for 5,000, I got 176, I got 124, I got 392, I got 116, I have 104. Wow, this is fantastic. Anyone else for $5,000? Anyone else for $5,000? That was great. I mean, I don't think we need anybody else, but it'd be nice if we had one more person, because that was like 6. I mean, 7's a... There it is, 193! Thank you, sir, for $5,000. And you know, $5,000 covers students' costs for workshops, paid internships, wellness services, financial assistance, and everything they need to graduate from this extremely meaningful program. And thank you, each and every one of you. Give them a round of applause, please. You guys are not excited enough, because this is going well. This is fantastic. Did you see all the people that just gave? We started off with 2 10s. We got 7 5s. This is fantastic. All right, here we go. Let's move on to the next one, which, of course, would be $2,500. At $2,500, many of their students are stepping on the job market for the first time, and this gives them the experience leading to living on the first job. So let's go for $2,500. Who do I have? 175. Anyone else for $2,500? I have 141 for $2,500. Anybody else? That's only 2. Come on, guys. We got to do better than 2. Let's see if we can get to 5. Come on, $2,500. Even if you do it with a friend. 185. Okay, I need 3 more. No, wait, 1, 2, that was 1, 2, 3. I need 2 more to get to 5. Come on, let's do it. 2 more people for $2,500. Do I have a $2,500 going once, $2,500 going twice? 2 more people, can I get it? Oh, sir, is that? No, you're not doing it. Okay, thank you. I told you guys, no sudden movements, okay? Could be very expensive. All right, so anyone else for $2,500? All right, I'm not going to belabor because I'm way over time already, but this is going so very well, I don't care. All right, here we go. Let's go $1,000. All right, guys, $1,000. I got 387, 162, 170, 142, 144, 134, 188, 184, 225, 231, 230, 305, 395, 102, 347. Back in the back. Way to go. Anyone? Wow, that was a lot. That was like 20 people right there. That was fantastic. Anybody else for $1,000? 264. Way to go. This gentleman has his hand up and he doesn't have a paddle. Somebody give him a paddle, but then get the money from him because you will be responsible for it. That is 274 for another $1,000. Woo! Woo! Oh man, this is fantastic. Oh gosh. Whew. I'm about to sweat. Oh, man. I feel like Herschel Walker at a paternity test. Okay, here we go. Oh, really? Oh, too soon? Shut up. I'm sorry. You got to be kidding me. Anyway, let's go to $500 before I never get invited back again. $500, ladies and gentlemen. 240, 200, 238, 377, 165, 172, 166, 240, 128 down front. Another 500. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? 119. Thank you, sir, for another 5. What's that? 317 in the back for $500. Anybody else? Anybody else for $500? 351 coming in late. Way to grandstand, my friend. I like your style. 351. Anyone else for $500? $500 going once. $500 going twice. Fantastic. Oh, 380. Way to do it. Yo, that was dope. That's the way to do it. You waited until going thrice and you were just like, nope, here you go. Fantastic. All right, guys. Okay, how about this? Let's raise some money for the materials that are used for all of the classes. Okay, all the classes, $250 gets you the materials for the jobs classes. Who do we have for $250? I got $350 in the back. I got $247. I got $163. I got $148. I got $196. I got $246. I got $318. I got $321. I have $236. I have $289. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else coming? Yeah, look at that. $304 coming in late, bringing up the rear. Anyone else? Anyone else? For $303, fantastic, for $250. Anybody else? Anybody else for $250? Yes, 213. Way to do it, 213. I like your style. And 309. Beating you out, 213. Sorry about that. 309. Anyone else? Fantastic. $250 done. All right. Okay. All right, so here's the deal. I'm supposed to go all the way down to $50, but we're not going to do that. Here's what I want. Anybody and everybody, even if you've already given, here's what I want you to do. Up your gift by an extra $100. And that means everybody in the room, if you can, in any way, give $50 or $100, go to the QR code, and if you want right now, just raise your paddle for $50 or $100. Whoever you are, go ahead and raise them up. Look at that, 296, 296, 319, 220 extra, 200, 184, 188. That's all extra. 162 is extra. 268 is extra. 290 is extra. 292 is extra. 145, 148, 226. Anybody else? 293, 348, 349. Anybody else? Anybody else? Come on. All right. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. You guys, I can't believe how quiet it is in here. I mean, we are killing this, people. We are killing this right now. Are you kidding me? We are really raising some money here. Am I the only one that's excited? My God, I've only had one glass of wine. I can't believe I'm so amped up. Anyway, okay. I need to calm down because this was great. So here's the thing. I'm going to leave now. And what I need from each and every one of you, because we do not have to let this end in this room tonight, okay? And I say this, and I say it with a great deal of love. Every single person in this room has a friend that they know who is going to hell. You know you got a friend, and you know that friend is going to hell. And so what I'm asking you to do right now is text that friend and tell them, I just gave, oh, thank you so much. Oh, I feel like Marco Rubio. Thank you, people who follow politics. Thank you. I need you to text that friend and tell them, I just gave this month's money to Strive, and then text them a picture of the QR code, and then say to them, listen, we both know you're going to hell. Let me help you not. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm Chuck Nice.
Our thanks to Chuck Nice for motivating everyone to give. He put on a master class for asking for money. I'm gonna have to try that sometime. And his jokes landed much better than mine. We talked about that beforehand. He says I keep him employed. But I think we all just proved that the laws of physics also apply to generosity. Once it starts moving, it accelerates fast. And speaking of physics, you are now in for a very special treat. One of Strive's most treasured, longtime supporters, Neil deGrasse Tyson, first learned about the impact of Strive right here in his hometown when he was introduced to the organization by then board member Andy Rawl and his wife Leslie Rawl, who are here tonight. Exemplary supporters of the Strive mission, little did they know at the time one simple introduction could lead to this phenomenal moment. If you are a Jeopardy or Family Feud fan, you may know that Neil has shared his smarts for Strive to the tune of more than $50,000. And if you're a science buff, you know that he's got this way of making astronomy and physics easy to understand and even fun. He's one of my favorite people to follow on social media. I'm constantly learning. Neil deGrasse Tyson is truly one of a kind. As a nationally renowned astrophysicist, Neil has served under the White House and NASA to advocate for and educate about the role of space exploration in American life. Neil just released his 19th book and has been published in countless prestigious magazines and journals. He is the recipient of 28 honorary doctorates and the NASA Distinguished Public Service Medal. the highest award given by NASA to a non-government citizen. Yes, there is so much more to say about Neil. His bio of awards and accomplishments is just so robust. We couldn't include them all in these remarks, but you should definitely look him up online to read the very impressive list. Neil is also a proud New York City native and Bronx High School of Science alumni. And today, Neil leads the world-renowned Hayden Planetarium of the American Museum of Natural History, where it's always a good time to stargaze. But before we hear from the man himself, his longtime friend and co-host of Star Talk, Chuck Nice, would like to say a few words. Welcome back, Chuck.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm going to change things up a little bit. So everybody's going to be very mad at me behind the scenes because this is supposed to go a certain way, but I'm not going to let it go a certain way because I want Neil to actually say something, and I'm going to present him with a award. Then we're going to sit down and we're going to have a little chat. Is that okay with everybody? Okay, fantastic. So first of all, let me say there's too much to say about Neil deGrasse Tyson to do him justice in an introduction. And you heard a bunch of it, the honorary doctorates. What wasn't mentioned was the 117 research papers, including a Nobel Prize winning paper that he contributed to. Not to mention the fact that he is the world's foremost science communicator of our entire generation. And more importantly, after sitting next to him, which I have been privileged to do so for about 15 years now, and witness his soaring intellect and unparalleled enthusiasm for education and his infectious passion for sharing his knowledge of the universe, I want to talk for a brief second about the person, not the accomplishments, but the person, because I think the most significant accomplishment of Neil is remaining grounded in his authenticity and being disaffected by the trappings of his success. You know, the number one question that people ask me about Neil all the time is, what's he really like? What's he really like? And my answer always is, you already know. The person that you see is actually Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's not an act. He really is funny. He really is that knowledgeable. He truly loves science. He loves the universe. He loves illuminating minds, and he does so with even more fervor that comes through on the screen. And I don't even know what they expect me to say. It's not like the cameras would cut off and he'd be like, duh, that was hard. Like, what do you expect? You know, he's only like one of the smartest dudes in the world. And let me just say this, what makes Neil very special. Neil is the most curious person you will ever encounter. He delights in learning, and he is addicted to knowledge. And here's what I find so impressive. Despite his preternatural ability to store data and recall facts, he has never once, in the 15 years I've known him, condescended to anyone. No matter how, and these are my words, no matter how much of a dumbass they are. Seriously, he sees every opportunity, every engagement as an opportunity to enlighten and lift someone. So, I'm going to bring Neil out, and I'm going to give him this award and let him say something. But first, I'm going to read you a very quick letter. I get tons of letters about Neil because people send them to me thinking I'm going to give them to him. But what they don't know is I'm not doing that. So here's what the letter says. Dear Lord Nice, I write this hoping you'll be able to get it to Dr. Tyson. I've been a fan of Star Talk for many years, and when I started listening, I never gave science a second thought. But Dr. Tyson's profound insights sparked a flame within me that has grown into a fire. I was a person who barely graduated high school, who believed science was for eggheads who hid from the real world. I now know that there is no reality without science. In May, I will be graduating from the University of Arizona with a Bachelor of Science in Astronomy. From now on, I will be living by the words of Dr. Tyson and keep looking up, literally. That's who he is. So, ladies and gentlemen, my boss, my friend, my colleague, and my lover, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Thank you for these warm comments. And Chuck, I've been working with him for 15 years. We have independently taken interest in Strive. When I told him there's this organization called Strive, I know Strive, I've been there every time. So we are both here, having worked together for 15 years, and arrived by completely independent pathways. So there's more than one sort of tributary to the rivers of justice in this world, and both Chuck and I have taken them. Now, I thought I would just be saying thank you for the award, and then I saw that everyone was giving speeches, so then I thought maybe I had to give a speech. So I put my speech on my name card. Just so you know, it's not going to be long, okay? And then after Chuck and I are going to hang out, apparently he has more questions for me. So I think the question you should be asking is, why am I being honored? I'm an educator, astrophysicist. What is my connection at all to Strive? Why would I even care, given how many charities exist in this world, how many charities exist in this city? And if I may, I grew up in the Bronx in the house, and I knew I wanted to study the universe from age 9, from a first visit to the Hayden Planetarium, where I now serve as director. Since I've known from age 9 what I wanted to do, it's a little odd that my parents had nothing to do with science. My father was active in the civil rights movement. He worked under Mayor Lindsay during some of the most turbulent years in American history since the Civil War. The 1960s and the civil rights movement and the assassinations and the campus unrest and the inner city riots. Under Mayor Lindsay, he was a commissioner of what? Of manpower and career development. That was an agency of the city back then. Manpower and career development. You know what reporters never write about? They don't write about things that don't happen. Those are not stories. So during the 60s, people are writing about their inner city unrest, back then known as the ghettos. Unrest in the ghettos, riots. What is a riot if not the last act of desperation when you know you have no hope left? Here's a story that was not written. There were riots in Watts, riots in Detroit, riots in all the major ghettos of the country. There were no major riots in New York City. None. Was that an accident? Or did people at the time have some hope? When Mayor Lindsay walked the streets of Harlem with local neighborhood supporters, people had hope. Meanwhile, I'm just his kid, the astrophysicist, but this is going on. Oh, then what happens? My mother goes back to school, empty nest, and studies gerontology, and ends up working for the feds, administering money to support people who are aged and infirmed. I'm their son, the astrophysicist. So how does this connect? Well, it doesn't really, except that was sort of always there in my state of mind. I don't know how conscious I was of it, but when I take my telescope to the roof of my building. I'm 13 now, 14. I'm looking at the universe, just me, my telescope, and the universe. The cops come. Someone called the cops on me. And they approached me with their hand over their gun, as New York City police do when they're approaching young black men. And my mother had already given me the talk. What to do when police approach you. So, fortunately, I also had Saturn in the scope. I said, have you ever seen Saturn through a telescope? Oh, no, I didn't, right? Oh, my gosh. This black kid is different. Okay, yeah. Okay. So my relationship with the risks of growing up, black man in America, 1960s, 1970s, they were real. I was not unaware of them. But this thing about caring for others, I wasn't conscious of that, really. It was in me, but I wasn't thinking about it. Till I get to college, I'm majoring in physics. I've got more homework than ever. I don't have time for anything other than what I'm doing. And then I heard there was a group of students who organized, and they were going to tutor prisoners in Walpole State Penitentiary in Massachusetts. Would I want to join? I said, yeah, of course. And I didn't think about that. It was just in me there to say yes to. It was, yeah, of course, I'm going to go tutor prisoners. How could I not? And that was the awareness and sensitivity of others who needed help. And I remember the inmate I was assigned to, his name was Carlos. He was doing 5 to 10 armed robbery. He almost bragged about the healed bullet hole in his shoulder when the cops shot him. That was kind of weird to me, that you would brag about that. Maybe his bragging rights in a prison, perhaps. But I tutored him math so that when he got out, presumably early on good behavior, he would then take his GED and make something of his life. Of course, that's what I'm going to do if I can help them. But I'm trying to impress upon you that this was not a conscious thought. It was just so obvious that that's what I was going to do. And so, to this day, I get correspondence from the public. 1 out of 100 letters, there's a lot of letters that come, 1 out of 100 comes from a prison. And a lot of people thinking a lot of deep thoughts in prison. What else are you going to do? I put those to the top of the list. People who need the most help. And so I feel this. How close was I to being on a track where I would end up in prison and no one would pay attention to me? Where my brother was in gangs growing up. What are the contingencies that completely change your outcome? We were invited earlier to close our eyes and think of the person that helped you. That's because we're all successful. You wouldn't be if you weren't in this room. How about the people who close their eyes and have no one to think of who helped them? They outnumber us in this world. And Strive is trying to do something about that. And so I've been on 3 major game shows with celebrity status. And in celebrity status, you don't win your own money. The money goes to charity. So I said, sign up Strive for the charity. Okay, so I was on Wheel of Fortune, okay? That's a little lower on my list of game shows, just between you and me, but I was invited. And then came the invitation to Jeopardy. Oh, okay. Forgive the French, but I intimidated the shit out of my 2 opponents, okay? There were 2 actresses. Now, the questions in Celebrity Jeopardy are a little more pop culture-y. That's okay, I don't have a problem with it. Less encyclopedic. But I knew all the 5 Great Lakes and the 7 Seas, and I was like prepping for this. I had to put Google away. You'd be surprised how much you don't know when you put Google away, okay? And I had to resurrect these neurosynapses to recover fast access to information. And I just want you to know, I came in 3rd. I'm just saying. But even when you lose at Jeopardy, if it's Celebrity Jeopardy, you still get money for your charity. And so I was in long back and forth correspondence, and I was delighted to get those checks written. And now I look forward to being on more game shows, so I don't have to write the check personally. We get the networks to write the check. But all I can tell you is Strive then gets a shout out in the media, and I was delighted to offer that exposure. And so, let me just say, a component of this is not just who needs help here on Earth. As an astrophysicist, yes, I'm floating in the sky. My feet are still anchored because my parents anchored them there, not by force, just because that's what I was exposed to every day. The struggle to make a difference in the world. And, oh, by the way, one of my father's edicts was, it's not good enough just to be right. You also have to be effective. So you just walk around and say, oh, people should, they need more opportunity. If you don't do something about it, you can be right declaring this your whole life, but go home if you made no difference in the world for having said so. Strive is boots on the ground. And how does this come full circle? There's something called a cosmic perspective, mentioned earlier this evening. I will share with you the greatest of them all, I think. Because not just when you are in orbit, but when we went to the moon to explore the moon, we looked back over our shoulder and discovered Earth for the first time. And there it was, oceans, land, clouds, suspended in a void, with no hint that help will be coming from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. It's up to us. And there's Earth, not with color-coded countries. In my cynical old age, I began to realize, why did they show us Earth carved up in color-coded countries? And at the time, they would say, oh, so you can learn the names of the countries. No. It's so we know who our enemies are and who our friends are. That's the brainwashing that I now think was going on at the time. So what's the antidote to that? Apollo 14 astronaut, moonwalker, Edgar Mitchell, comes back 1971, interviewed by Time magazine. His quote is what brings me full circle to caring about the plight and condition of people here on Earth. You develop an instant global consciousness, a people orientation, an intense dissatisfaction with the state of the world, and a compulsion to do something about it. From out there on the moon, international politics looks so petty, you want to grab a politician by the scruff of the neck and drag him 250,000 miles out and say, "Look at that, you son of a bitch." When I see Earth from its surface, as we all do, and then I think of Earth from space, that closes the loop on what accountability, what responsibility we have to fellow human beings, our own species. I don't care what side of a line on a globe they live on, grew up in. Do they need help? Can their life be improved by some gesture of ours? Then that's how you give meaning to life. Look at how many people search for meaning. I'm still trying to find meaning in life, as though it's under a rock or behind a tree, without realizing we have the power to manufacture meaning. For me, learning something today that I didn't know yesterday, that's part of it. Also, imbued by my parents, again, not by force, just by example, try to lessen the suffering of someone today. Every day you're alive, do a little thing that can lessen the suffering. And what a beautiful world that would be. Not only from space, but from the ground. Thank you for this honor, Strive. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Thank you for that standing ovation that 12 of you gave me there. Yeah. Chuck, we have time for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, just 2 minutes.
Let's do it.
Come on, sit down for 1 second. Don't worry. We're going to be very quick. So here's the thing. First of all, I can't believe all that was on that tiny little card. That's number one.
How you doing, Chuck? Love you, man.
I love you too, man.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. We don't have time to do the whole chat that we were going to do, but what I want to do is, first of all, I love the fact that you said when you put away Google that you are at a disadvantage, even you, because y'all don't know my nickname for him is Black Google. I'm dead serious. That's what I call him when we're in the office. I'm like, all right, Black Google, what do you got for this one? But yeah, because Neil is just like that. But here's what I would love for you to do. In a very succinct fashion, because we're over time, I would love for you to kind of marry the cosmic perspective that you just gave us, the mission of Strive and what it does and its effect on society, and Newton's laws of motion, and bring those together, and then we'll say goodnight.
Wow. Newton's laws of motion. You got to bring Newton into this?
No, that's your boy.
He's my boy. He's my boy. One of Newton's laws, you know it. Things in motion tend to stay in motion unless acted on by an outside force. There are outside forces that prevent motion. We heard earlier, an outside force led to a second incarceration. So forces matter. And in physics, force is not just a magnitude of the impulse, it's also a direction. It's called a vector. A vector has magnitude and direction. And from what I can see in the STRIVE programs, it has magnitude and direction. The direction's not backwards, it's forwards. It's not even off to the side, it is forwards. And in some cases, it's upwards, but it'll always have a vector. And when I think of space, you know when you were weightless?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, sorry. Perhaps learning for the first time that when you are weightless, every direction is up.
Nice.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that? So, I would say, just to bring this to closure, and thank you for your patience, and it's been a long night. There comes a time in your life when you have ambitions, when the people supportive of those ambitions, and you have a direction where you want to aim them. Because keep in mind, a compass tells you which way you're going, not which way you should be going. Ooh. So compasses are not all they're cracked out to be. Old-fashioned compasses. Whereas a North Star is a direction, and it's a metaphorical ascent to achieve a dream. And so for Strive graduates in this room, let me say, speaking as an astrophysicist, for you, the sky is not even the limit.
Ladies and gentlemen, your personal astrophysicist, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Wow, talk about a tough act to follow, huh? I'm Phil Weinberg. It truly is my great honor to serve as CEO of this incredible organization. I have so much pride to be here with all of you. I want to start by thanking all of you for your generosity. Thanks to your support of Strive, we're able to grow our impact here in New York City and in our growing list of communities around the country. As you've heard tonight, we are thrilled to be expanding our impact, and we're joined tonight by leaders of some of our cities around the country. Our flagship here in New York City, Aisha, where's Aisha? Yeah, Aisha George. Our very first Strive outside of New York City. We heard how we launched in the pandemic. Where's Jamal Vales, Executive Director, Strive Atlanta. The leader of our Strive in New Orleans, where's Angela? All right, thank you. Angela Shiloh Cryer. And our newest Strive in North Jersey, where's Donnell Hill? All right. Thank you to these inspiring leaders. And please join me in thanking all of the members of the Strive team. These truly are the unsung heroes of Strive. Strive team, please stand so we could recognize all of you. I'd also like to recognize our amazing board of directors. Many of you came here this evening at the invitation of a member of our board. We have an incredible board at Strive, as you know, passionate, smart, generous, fiercely devoted to our mission. Please stand, Strive board, so we could recognize you. We heard earlier this evening from our board vice chair, Judy McElnay, who is a force. Let me also give a shout out to our board co-chairs, the dynamic duo of Brian Friedman and Roy Castro. And a special shout out to two of our co-founders who we're honored to have with us in the room tonight. Where's Tom Rodman and Rob Carmona? True visionaries. Thank you to our Gala co-chairs, Janice Ellig, David Finkelstein, Dina Powell McCormick, Andy and Leslie Rawl, along with Brian Friedman, Roy Castro, and Judy McElnay. Finally, a thank you to our honorees, Tony and Neil. You both are truly incredible. Our amazing graduate speakers, Nicole and Taekwon, and to Chuck and Morgan. Together, you're a special group who's made this such a memorable and inspiring evening for us all. Now, a few brief words about Strive's future. As you heard tonight, Strive believes in everybody's worth, that people are more than their past. We see what's possible, we help people unlock what's possible in themselves. We've set an audacious vision for our future, as you've heard tonight, to grow from serving 2,000 to 10,000 students annually over the coming years while maintaining our high standards of quality and care. Reaching this goal will require all of us in this room and more. In the months ahead, we invite you to visit with us, attend a graduation, set up a corporate volunteer event. We'd love to stay connected with you. All of you are part of this special community that Tony talked so eloquently about, and we can't wait for another year of impact together in building pathways to what's possible in New York City and communities around the country. Thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for believing in Strive. Thank you for joining with us in our mission. We wish everyone a wonderful evening.